first, if you're not comfortable seeing your face on camera, do behind the scenes of just showing your work. So then we have direct message, which is people are used to buy services and products in their DM.
For me, I think, because I know from my business, Instagram is the best platform right now, but of course you're going to explain more and you're going to give more advices and more tips here on where you should focus.
You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
I know there is a lot to think about, and especially marketing, and then how to open a business, how to grow your clientele, where you should focus, Instagram, Facebook, Google, YouTube. For me, I think, because I know from my business, Instagram is the best platform right now, but of course you're going to explain more and you're going to give more advices and more tips here on where you should focus more after the class.
Sure. So of course, the answer varies based on, so I'm going to generalize the whole strategy, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to what the person wants to do, right? Because if they want to do this full-time versus part-time, it's just a matter of volume of traffic, volume of people knowing about them. So to simplify everything, it all comes down to getting the know, like, and trust factor. What does that even mean? So in order for someone to buy from you, they need to trust you more than they trust your competitors. Other than, if that's not happening, then they're not going to give you money. Right. But in order for someone to trust you, they need to like you. Not necessarily like you as a person, because they haven't met you yet, but they have to like the presence and the things that they found about you online. Because 95%, I would say, maybe even more than 95% of the people will find you or your students, in this case, online. Right? And then in order for someone, so we mentioned somebody has to trust you in order to buy from you. They have to like you in order to trust you. But in order to like you, they first need to find you. So this is one of my favorite topics. It all comes down to traffic. Traffic meaning it can be foot traffic if you are in a really good spot and people will find you, but that's very rarely happening. Even if you are in a really good spot, it's not like people will randomly walk into your salon. Right. They're not going to randomly walk into your salon and say, well, guess what? I'm here to get my lashes done. It's just not happening. So the whole traffic portion, it's really split into two big worlds: search and interruption. Search, it's pretty much dominated by Google. Yes, we have a little bit of Bing and the other search engines. Google is number one, and it gives us as business owners, and in this case your students, really some awesome ways and opportunities to really market your business, both paying and on the organic side, meaning the SEO, and we have YouTube as a second search engine, right? Because YouTube, it's owned by Google, and it's also, a lot of people don't know about this, it's the second biggest search engine in the world. But YouTube, especially for this, because an eyelash salon, it's a local brick and mortar service. So people will not really find, they won't really go on YouTube to find a salon. They'll go to YouTube to find information about how can I maintain my lashes, or pros and cons of getting eyelash extensions and things like that. But other than that, people won't find a salon because they searched on YouTube the closest eyelash service next to me or something like that, right? So it's Google, in my opinion, the number one focus that your students should have. And where do we begin? And before we dive into that, so we mentioned traffic, it's split into two worlds. Search traffic and interruption marketing is pretty much everything that has to do with social. It starts in this case with Instagram, Facebook, and then we have Pinterest, and I'll dive a little bit into that. But I don't have a crazy amount of experience in Pinterest. But then you have TikTok and LinkedIn and all the others. But it's before we dive into the actual strategy itself, it's important to know you're not going to be able to master all of them.
Right.
I remember the first time I did a Google ad was 2017. And to this day, so I have 8 years of pretty much not a day would pass without me being logged in the actual ad platform and trying to optimize different things for keywords and locations and settings and testing different ads and all that. So you're not going to master one form really quick.
Right.
Not even to mention, you're not going to be able to master all of them. So with that being said, with that in mind, let's think about the simplest way that your students can focus, because what do they care about? Making money. What does
Building the clientele.
Yeah, so that comes down to getting more clients. So putting all the other details aside in terms of how long it's going to take them for them to get comfortable charging and how much they should charge and all that, we'll probably keep that for a different episode because it can be a whole different thing of its own. But it's really important to understand the local market and to understand the competition.
Right.
So thinking back to these two worlds of traffic, search traffic and interruption marketing traffic, it's for people that are really beginners. What does that even mean? In my opinion, they're two types of people that search for a service and they search for pretty much everything that they are looking to get in terms of a service. And then there are people that just click on these ads from social media campaigns. And not to say that you cannot be both, right? Because we're both, for example, at some point in time, we've searched for some type, for example, I don't know, need a plumber, you go to Google, type in plumber near me, you find a phone number, the first three listings, you call the plumber because you need a service, your bathroom might be clogged or whatever, and then you need a plumber now.
So all of those are through Google, all those searches.
Yeah, so all the search traffic is dominated by Google. Okay. Bing has, I don't know, like 3%, 4%, whatever it is, but we're not talking about Bing now, even though pretty much the same strategies apply. But I'm going to talk about Google in here. So of course, Google it's split into a lot of different things. So first we have ads, but even the ads are split into a couple of different types of ads, but I don't want to complicate things. I want to keep it simple for the students to
understand.
So Google has also two big worlds. Remember, at first I said we have search traffic and interruption. Search dominated by Google, interruption, social media. So Google has two big worlds. One is the ad platform where you pay to promote, and you have your service and your ads show at really the top of the list when somebody's searching for a service. In this case, eyelash extensions near me. What else could people search for? And I did this research recently for you. Eyelash salon near me, lash extensions near me, lash tech near me, eyelash extension services. Where it was one long tail phrase. Long tail means a longer key phrase that people are searching for. In your case was, where can I get the best deal on eyelash extensions? It was and it was searched, I think, 20 times a month in Massachusetts. And again, this comes down to understanding your market and doing a little research. So it's a tool that I recommend everybody to play with. It's called Keywords Everywhere. It's a Google Chrome extension. It's free. And then you pay, I don't know, $10 to buy some credits. And those credits allow you to do research on these keywords and phrases and how to understand how many times a month somebody's searching for. Because if you create a blog post, for example, and it talks about a keyword that you might think people are searching for, but nobody is searching for that keyword, nobody's going to find your business. Nobody's going to find your listing, right?
And I think it's very important, the keyword that you...
Right? And then, of course, the higher the volume of searches, the higher is the competition. Because more people will want to go for, if a keyword like eyelash extensions near me is searched a couple thousand times a month, versus what is the best place to get a deal on eyelash extensions, it's only searched 20 times a month. Of course, the competition is going to be different. So again, to simplify things, on Google, so we have organic, and organic has your website and your Google My Business profile or Google My Business page, whatever we want to call it. So that's the first thing that your students should focus on. They should create a Google My Business profile. They only need a Gmail account. Now, you do need a full address and of course a phone number.
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, 'cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.